The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Greetings and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. My name is Paul Solano of the PS&All Marketing Group, and as you probably already know, I wear another hat as General Manager of Pearl Street Station Restaurant in Malden. Now a huge shout out goes out to Chef Felipe Fitzpatrick and his culinary team. Chef Felipe is a loyal listener through the Odyssey app, so hello to Chef Felipe. And also, I forgot to mention that this show is presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. So shout out to our friends Mike Payne at Northeastern Fence. So we have lots of activity going on at Pearl Street Station Restaurant this weekend. It started off this morning with a bowl of chicken soup because I'm nursing a slight cold, and I excuse the voice, excuse the scratchy voice. I don't know if it was because I maybe tried karaoke last night and I just failed to hit the notes of New York, New York, my new go-to song, besides The Gambler. But I am battling a cold, so Chef Felipe Fitzpatrick started me off with the chicken soup, the Jewish penicillin, which was absolutely awesome. But then he made this most incredible French toast, ham and bacon sandwich, and it was tremendous. So it gave me enough energy to, in fact, get down here to Marshville. Now, as you know, Pearl Street Station Restaurant is Malden's longest running restaurant. And I often say that, and it's really incredible how we have great staying power in the Boston area and the North Shore. And if you have a chance, if you're coming up from the South Shore, the Cape and the Islands, please venture over the Zakin Bridge and please visit us. We have Chef Felipe and Chef Joaquin Pizziola Muhammad holding down the fort with my great 1209 staff of Jen, Nicole, and Dennis. And they're just doing a fabulous job. And also, getting back to Chef Felipe, that pork loin that you made last night was absolutely tremendous. The stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the mixed vegetables, the gravy, it was superb. And I hope that we have it on tonight's menu. So this is show number 49 as we approach a whole year of being here on WATD. And as I often state, it is an absolute pleasure and honor to be here at WATD in the slot of the Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. Arthur is plugging away with advertisers. We have some specials coming up, and we're going to have some sort of celebration coming up when I have my anniversary show circa December 7th in the lobby. I had the pleasure of meeting. I listen to him every Monday night from the Malden area, and Kevin Tachi. He does a great job, and we didn't have a chance to meet at last year's party. I really didn't know a whole lot of people last year at our holiday celebration, but getting to listen to Kevin and the fine work that he does with his show, and also his work in Access Television in Abington, it's really quite important to really get the message out to the communities, and obviously with the WATD community, with his talk show, with his wide array of guests. He really runs the gamut. He does a great job. And in the past couple of weeks, I didn't see Duncan Gray today, but he has a great show. And, of course, I've mentioned Mike McNamara. I worked with him a couple of decades ago now in the world of securities. And it's one of those things that, Mike McNamara and his family do a great job with their programming. And, of course, Tom Williams with his sound advice. We always enjoy the exchange we have in between shows, and Tom's just a great guy, and he does give sound advice. Now, in the next couple of weeks or so, I am going to be having Kathleen Keegan on. She's a realtor with K. Keegan Realty, and she's starting a newsletter in Pembroke, and her expertise and enthusiasm will in fact shine through. Her husband, Major Sean Keegan, is on the select board in Pembroke, and they're just a very community-oriented family, which is really what it's all about when we talk about community. But when we talk about the community, we talk about the ATD community, 25-year legend, Tim Behind the Glass. Tim, how are you?
Doing well, Paul. How are you?
I'm,
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York. And the other song you do, The Gambler, that's one of my karaoke songs, too.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. Yes.
We may have to do a duet at our holiday party whenever it's scheduled.
Yeah, we just may. Yes, absolutely. I like the sound of that. And speaking of Kevin Tachi, he wanted to thank you for the shout-out and talking about... thank you, Kevin. He also said, nice version of New York, New York. Thank you, Kevin. So I've been here 25 years. Kevin's been here almost as long.
Really?
He's been here about 20 years. And it's a combination of thanking people. He said to me, I saw him earlier, myself, because, we were at Massasoit together.
Oh, okay.
Involved with the media club and a bunch of other stuff. And then between myself and Ed Perry, he got in here too.
Oh, that's great. It's a great history. And I'm finding, the WATD family really is about family. When I had originally met with Arthur, his family, and he introduced me to Rob Hackle when I came here. It was probably about 13 months ago or so, for the initial meeting to move into Arthur's slot. Mm-hmm. Rob Hackle said, we're family here, and we have so many longtime veterans and people who are just part of it. And he mentioned Christine James. He mentioned so many people who are here. Larry Nelson, of course, who I had met years ago when I used to come down to the station and be on the Sports Exchange with Arthur and Coach Bill Wilhelm. It was really, it's just a warm feeling, and this is an award-winning radio station, and it's the best of the best. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's quite a sight to come into our lobby and see all the awards along the walls. It's like, my goodness, they just don't stop. Wow. There's so many. There's a lot that are not hung up, and they're just in boxes or maybe in Ed's house. I don't know, but they just keep coming. We do an outstanding job. We don't pretend to be in Boston. If you don't know, we're a local station, people. We broadcast loud and proud from the South Shore.
Absolutely, and the Cape and the Islands.
Yep, we reached down there too. Yeah. Yep.
And also as far north as Andover and Tewksbury. Mm-hmm. I've been traveling along the road on 93, and the signal comes in loud and clear. So really, it's just a great station, and I want to thank our advertisers and our loyal listeners who, in fact, tune in every week. The Matt from Pembrokes, the Mike on the North Rivers, the Tamikas from Cohasset, all of our loyal listeners.
Speaking of Tamika, I had the pleasure of meeting her.
You did.
Was it last weekend or the weekend before? Yeah, she came in to collect a prize on a Sunday, and she's a bright light, a great ball of energy. She's just positivity all over. She's terrific.
Without a doubt, when she has called on the phone, I do sense that, and that's really just tremendous, and works out really well. So thank you, listeners, and all. And we have more information coming up about our anniversary show or the anniversary season, and looking forward to year number 2. How does that sound, Mr. Tim?
Sounds great. Should we call it the Anniversary Spectacular?
Ooh, we could be onto something. I'll have to ponder that. I will ponder that.
Yes, Pinky. Yes.
Okay, yes, exactly. Yeah, it sounds good. Write it down. But at this point of the program, we have a longtime sponsor. That we have the Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment with Techie Talonzo Amos and Miss Shelley Wolf, global media firm, owner of Toolbox Entertainment, vice president of technology literacy for Pod Pro Entertainment, and a past Paul Ponders guest, episode number 35. Shelley Wolf, I hear you're on the line.
How you doing today, Paul?
With the exception of this cold and not hitting the right notes in New York last night, karaoke at Pearl Street Station, I'm doing okay.
Well, that's good to hear. I hope that nasal passage clears soon.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
It's hard to hit those Sinatra notes, but, I can say that Tim did a pretty decent job there.
He really did. I'll tell you, we have a great talent here, and I heard Tim last year at the holiday party, and he started off the karaoke, and he just absolutely nailed it.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Oh.
Absolutely. And typically I would always say that the only note I could carry is the one to the principal's office. But feel free, rim shot on that.
Ba-dum.
There we go. But anyways, on that note, do you have any helpful tips for us regarding singing karaoke or anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'll have to come back on that one. But I'm sure there's some great apps on karaoke. I'm really not the karaoke person, unfortunately, but I've done it a couple times. But maybe one of these days I have to jump back in the realm there. So,
well, after your trip to Japan, did you see many clubs that provided karaoke?
So they do, but it's very different than how they were doing it in America. Like you rent just to rent the rooms, right? So, I know we do have spaces where people rent the rooms here, but it wasn't as much as it's like open live audiences that I was finding. So it was, a little bit different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that.
You could go with your friends and have a private room. So.
There's a place in Quincy that has that as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's downstairs from a hot pot restaurant. I forget the name of it, but nice. I went there a couple of years ago, and it's a lot of fun. You own room, you order your drinks and your food, and just have at it. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, that I think I'm a little better than trying to sing in front of a bunch of people I don't know. But, I don't know.
I guess we call those the warm-up rooms.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
For the big crowd.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love it. Well, Shelley, as always, you always provide us with all sorts of great tips and all, and I try to post them as quickly as possible on the PS&All Marketing Group website and all, and our listeners out there who are logging into the blog are really just really paying attention to some great tips. And today, I'm sure you have another set and another great subject matter to talk about.
Yeah, well, today we're going to talk about some holiday scams, right? How to stay safe during the season. It's November, a season of gratitude, travel, and early gift shopping. But while we're planning Thanksgiving dinners and booking flights or hunting for those great holiday deals, scammers are also doing the same thing, planning ways to take advantage of our generosity and rushed decision-making. Tech tips today is around holiday season scams, how it's happening and how to spot them, and how to keep your wallet and identity safe. So first, let's talk about, it's November, full of travel planning, online shopping, all those Cyber Mondays, Black Fridays, holiday gift orders, increased charitable giving. It is just moving fast, and again, the urgency is that big red flag, right? It is someone who is pressuring you to make an immediate decision. It's really important in this busy, hectic time to pause. So what I want to talk about is that how we can look and think about fake Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals. You're going to see a lot of pop-up websites that are starting to pop up on social media, promising ads. We've got TVs for 50 or 85% off, name brand electronics for pennies. Results are no delivery, only your stolen credit card. So buy from trusted retailers or direct them to branded websites. If you see something on social media you really want, I really encourage people to take the name of that business and search it on the website, on Google, and see if it's legitimate. Don't look for it if it's under sponsored, right? You want to see, do they have a legitimate website? You want to make sure that you can buy directly from them and that it has some credibility. You could also search the product and see if it's on Amazon, right? If you're going to be the Amazon shopper. So those are different things that you want to really be thinking about. Don't click through that social media ad and just buy, because there's so many times that you're just going to get scammed, and we don't want you having to worry about that. You're going to be getting a lot of text or email claims saying, hey, your UPS package needs address confirmation. Click here. Again, that is what's called leading to phishing or malware scamming. So, again, if you have a package that's on the way, go to who you know is shipping it, whether it's the UPS, FedEx, go directly to their websites, use their links. This package trick is a real trick to really steal your identity. So, again, you just really want to be careful on what you're clicking on, whether it's in emails or in text. A lot of times there's fake rentals. November is a time for travel. Scammers like to sell fake vacation rentals, fake airline discounts. Book through reputable websites, not only social media messages. Again, if you're going to be going on even Airbnb, look for verified host, make sure you've read their reviews, make sure that they are considered and marked as a verified host. Really, really important to make sure, again, you're going direct to the source. Also, November really kicks off that giving season where, scammers set up fake websites copying real charities. So it's really important. We've got Veterans Day coming up, so shout out to all the veterans who've served and continue to serve this country. Disaster relief, holiday giving, those Tuesday giving days. Again, you can verify the charities through a site called Charity Navigator or even GuideStar before donating. Again, go to the website, know the source, or know the organization that you want to give to. Don't click on those random rushed, like, hey, donate here, we need money. Again, how scammers trick you is they really do set up fake websites that are nearly identical to the real one. So again, very, very important to make sure that it's real and you're sourcing that. Social media ads will steal photos all the time. I'm seeing it more and more every day. And so just really important not to be clicking through social media and, hey, put your picture here. Hey, here's an item to buy. Don't go through there. Go direct to the source. Spoofed phone numbers, emails pretending to be UPS or Amazon. And again, remember, pressure like wording like today only, sales ending now, those things, when there's that level of urgency, it typically may have some sort of scamming effort going on. So if you didn't get the deal, and that you're looking for, or donation or message, it's really important to go directly to the source. So how to stay safe is, use credit cards, not a debit card. Credit cards offer more fraud protection. Obviously, use Amex if you can use an Amex. Avoid clicking on links in text or emails. Always go to direct site. Look for website misspellings. Those are huge red flags. Or sites that only take PayPal or Zelle as payment. No customer support. Search if this is a scam online. Again, you can search in Google. You could chat it and ask. Many of these stores are reported very quickly. Again, verify it and be cautious. You really want to help kids and grandkids stay safe. So again, as kids often buy gain credits or items or gift cards online, it's really important that families are setting spending limits, talking about too good to be true information, and use credit cards instead of gift cards or debit cards, as we discussed. And one thing that I think I want to really bring up, because right now this is a big topic in our country, which is your SNAP benefits. It's really important to protect yourself right now. Scammers especially are targeting the SNAP food service assistance during this holiday season where families are really stretched. So again, common SNAP scams are fake texts saying your benefits are locked in, click to unlock, phone calls asking for your PIN, or websites pretending to offer bonus benefits or gift cards. Those are all scams. SNAP will never text you, will never call or email asking for your EBT card number, your PIN, or any personal information. So again, to get real SNAP information, use the state's website, mass.gov/SNAP. Call the number on the back of your EBT card, or use official apps only if your state provides them. If you suspect fraud, report it immediately and request a card replacement. Benefits may be protected if reported quickly, but typically are not protected and going to be given back to you. So we don't want people losing those benefits. So again, quick safety checklist: shop trusted retailers, use credit cards, verify charity sites. Don't click on delivery links. Teach your kids safe spending and only trust official SNAP sites and numbers. So this holiday season, pause before you click. If something feels rushed or suspicious, trust your instincts. A quick check before buying, donating, or sharing personal information can save you time, money, and stress. And so again, we want you to take this tip today, shop smart, stay safe, and enjoy the holiday season.
Fabulous, fabulous tips there. And just a quick aside, I recently received a text, and I had no idea who it was from. And so you have that choice of blocking or accepting, whatever the case was. And the question was, I'm at the shoe aisle at whatever store, and what size are you? And it's just like, block.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
A scam.
Yep.
and all.
Yeah. They're really getting out there and getting, finding real ways to manipulate people. And it's just so sad that people are spending their time doing this. So, but we really have to be careful.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Well, Shelley, how do our listeners in Paul Ponders land contact you?
Yeah, they can reach us at info@podproentertainment.com.
Okay, and we'll be posting, as I said earlier, these helpful tips on the PS and All Marketing Group blog. And I want to thank you again for being on this Pod Pro Entertainment segment, and you are awesome.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure, and thank you for all the work that everyone over at WATD is doing, and for getting these messages out there, Paul. We really appreciate it.
Without a doubt. #Indeed.
And #Imagine.
Thank you, Shelley. Be well now. Thank you.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you. Well, as Arthur Boyle says, it's not time to make the donuts. It's time to pay some bills. Let's hear from our sponsors.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakesett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you. Have you tried Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were 3 deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email mike@northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. Our call-in number here at the studio is 781-837-4900, and you could also find us on the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and I want to give a shout-out to those nonprofits out there. You could email me at paul@paulponders.com, and you could let me know what's happening with your nonprofit, and we'll hopefully promote that accordingly, as we'll do in a couple of minutes, because we have Dave Boyle on the line. But I just want to let our listeners know that they could go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders and WATD shows. Now, my last Paul Ponders podcast dropped this past Sunday night at midnight with Coach John DiBiasio, the head coach at Catholic Memorial High School. And this podcast absolutely rocked. The importance of character and leadership really was showing throughout this podcast, and it was very well received. It's been getting a lot of reviews, so if you have a chance, go to paulponders.com and just check out this wonderful podcast with the legendary Hall of Fame coach John DiBiasio. And also a quick shout out to an event we have coming up at Pearl Street Station Restaurant through GordonMichaels.com. That's on December 18th. And that's going to be at 6:30 in the evening. Doors open then. The show time is at 7, and it's a Winter Wonderland concert. It's the festive music of the season. Michael Larson's on the piano, and tickets are $25 if you purchase them before December 10th, and should be a really great show. Gordon and his colleagues were actually they had a show recently at Pearl Street Station Restaurant. I think it was back in October, and it was well received, and it worked out really well, and I'm sure you'll have a fun time if in fact you go to GordonMichaels.com to find out more ticket information. And you could also make your dinner reservations for Pearl Street Station Restaurant. And as always, a shout out to Mary Lou's Coffee down on 139 in Pembroke, Molly T, Elia, and the rest of the hardworking crew over there, getting me my medium hot black coffee, which I'm nursing right now as I battle this cold. But I want to bring on the line so we could hear from another voice of the community, the Pembroke community, the chairman of the Pembroke School Committee, Dave Boyle. Dave?
Hey, Paul, do I have you, or do I have to turn my radio down?
No, you are fine. I think we're coming in loud and clear, as always.
Oh, fantastic. I said you sound like David Allen Boucher from the old Magic 106 shows.
Bedtime Magic. Yes, way back when, right? Way back when. Thank you. Thanks for that nice compliment there. Absolutely. So how are you?
I'm doing well. As I think I told you, I've got a carload of guys. We have an FBS gig. We're doing the work for Steve Martin and Martin Short. 2 shows today at the Wang Center. So I got my team with me, and we're heading up the expressway.
Oh, wonderful. Well, say hi to the team for me.
They're all listening. I told them they had to be quiet until I hung up.
Oh, boy. That's not an easy thing to do for the FBS team to do. Absolutely. So I want to congratulate you on the recent victory. You had that town election, and Sue Bollinger, your fellow school committee person and colleague and Pembroke activist, was on the show a couple of times and all. But
Yep.
If you just want to maybe talk about that as to how the voters really supported that initiative.
Oh, I mean, it was a packed town meeting. It's certainly a hot-button issue. And what this allows us to do is move forward in the process. Now, the voters will have to, again, vote in May at the regular town election, and we'll have a better idea of numbers, what the build-out will be and what the yearly cost should be. So it'll make life a lot easier. But, no, the town came out full support. I mean, it's great. We want every kid to get an education. We think voc ed is very important. I am a little concerned about what the numbers could be, but I always tell people, if you're part of a community, whether it's a senior center or a library or something, there's cost involved. And you can't say, well, I'm a senior citizen, I don't have kids in school, I'm not going to pay for the schools, no more than you can say I'm not a senior citizen, why should I pay for a senior citizens building? So there's a little bit of that duality there, but we'll figure it out, and I think the town will come through for us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what is the next step? You have the local election, and then what happens?
The local election is not till May.
Okay.
So we should have. So we're trying to actually set our budget. Hopefully within the next month or so. We're actually just hopefully finalizing the teachers' contracts. And all the people within the school, the custodians, the paraprofessionals. So hopefully we'll settle that. We'll have a better idea of what our budget looks like, and then we can go to the town and say, here you go. This is what the outlay is going to be. It probably is going to require some type of an override to kind of get that supporting money, because again, it's something we've never budgeted for. So it'll be definitely very interesting, but the part that's a little bit of a puzzling piece there, Paul, is the other towns, believe it or not, they're going to vote on whether to allow Pembroke to become part of the system, and I believe it's 9 towns, and if 6 go against us or there's something to that effect, the whole thing is dead. So if Pembroke says 100% we're in, we have the money, we have the support. So there's 2 ways to look at it. One is we could become, I believe, the 10th town, and we will help, defray some of that cost. Now it's split 10 ways as opposed to 9. But at the same time, those other schools, because they're not expanding the number of seats right off the bat. So by letting Pembroke possibly in, they could be reducing their own, amount of seats they have for their kids within their town. So that's a little bit of a variable that we have no control over. And I want people to be aware of that because, again, people think if Pembroke says, yes, 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 it's a done deal, and it's not, which it was.
Right. Wow, very, very interesting. And also, too, and I know you're traveling up there, so we have a couple more minutes before we do the commercial break. Tell us about that wonderful wine event you had, the event at the community center about a month or two ago or so.
Yeah, myself, Selectman John Brown, Chris Perry from the Historical Commission, his son Stephen, and Amy Lukakos from Rockland Trust. We put together a 501c3 called Pembroke Foundation, Pembroke Helping Pembroke. So our first mission, for lack of a better term, they're trying to build a Veterans Memorial. We already have one. We're trying to kind of clean it up, make it bigger, much more pronounced. So we did a wine event at the community center, which, by the way, is a beautiful building. Thank you, Lance Kennedy. You're doing a great job there. But we raised $8,000 in about 2 hours, which, again, in the grand scheme of things, isn't a lot of money based on what we have to raise, but it's $8,000 they didn't have, and it's going to a great cause. And I'll kind of add on to that, Paul. We're going to do a second event for the food pantry because we think with all the things going on currently now and, depending on what the winter could be, we're going to do like a trivia challenge where we're hoping to pit some teams against teams. Maybe I'll talk to Christine James and see if I get a WATD team. And, same thing, raise some money. And it all goes back into Pembroke. That's the key. Not trying to say that other places aren't worth it, but, with Pembroke people, we're trying to help Pembroke people. And it's so far the response has been amazing.
Wow, that's what it's all about. Do you have any idea when this trivia event will be occurring?
As of right now, it's scheduled for January 15th.
Wow, okay.
There'll be a cash bar. There'll be, prizes, all sorts of different stuff, some raffles. But we're hoping, the initial idea was 10 teams. I think we've already got commitments for 12. So now we're thinking we can probably do up to 20 teams based on the space in the community center. And it should be a lot of laughs. It should be hysterical.
Well, maybe Tim and I could maybe be on that team. We'll have to speak to Christine James and Rob Hackle and put together a team.
Possibly. What kind of trivia are we talking about, David?
Tim, it's going to be a little bit of everything from some local, surrounding town trivia, to sports, to music, to history. I told her to keep it simple. I didn't want it to be Jeopardy,
right?
Where you had to, Greek mythology and all that type of stuff. But I also don't want to make it so simple that people go, "Wow, even Dave Boyle could have done this."
Okay. Wow. Well, please keep us posted on that, and we'll have you more tuned in maybe on your next appearance here when we have the community outreach segment, which is sponsored by PS&L Marketing Group and the Mortgage Originators at Riverworks Credit Union. How does that sound?
Sounds amazing, Paul. It's always great to talk to you, my brother. You
got it, brother. Be well, travel safe. Say hi to Steve Martin and Martin Short for me. I don't know if they remember me, but when they filmed a couple of their movies, they used South Street Diner when I was over at South Street Diner. This was probably about 10, 12 years ago, whatever. And I know they always like to go over to South Street Diner.
Well, it's funny, Paul. They were telling me there's been some celebrity sightings. Meryl Streep was there last night. Andre Tippett was there last night. A few other people. So it's 3 sold-out shows. It's going to be a long day for us, but we look forward to it. It's always fun. And, again, you've done work with us in the past. Love having you as always.
Absolutely. Well, maybe I'll make a guest appearance one of these days. I'll reconnect with all of you. It would be great.
Well, the Fat Boys would love to have you.
Oh, I love it. David Boyle, I thank you, Chair of the Pembroke School Committee and just an all-around great guy. Thank you so much for being on WATD, Paul Ponders.
All right, my brother. Give my love to everyone. Be well.
You got it. Travel safe, brother. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Be well. Well, with that, let's hear from our sponsors, and then we'll come into our last segment.
Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Mannapeasett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you.
Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were 3 deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email Mike at northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. The call-in number here is 781-837-4900, and I invite you to give a call in as I sip my Mary Lou's hot coffee right now and try to nurse this slight cold that I have coming on right now. But anyways, I just wanted to, at this point in the program, we'll keep it at open lines, anyone who wants to call in. And I have received some emails regarding past segments and podcasts that I have done. And one past segment I produced with Pod Pro Entertainment was episode number 28. It was a tribute to a dear friend and donor of mine, the illustrious, the great Joe O'Donnell. And Kate O'Donnell is his daughter Kate is traveling right now, but she'll possibly be calling in. If not, we'll have Kate on next week. But I just recorded a podcast which will be airing at the end of November, beginning part of December, on the Joey Fun film premiere, which is coming up on next Sunday evening. And there's a reception. There's a great reception at the Riviera Hotel. And then we get shuttled over to the AMC Theater over in Tremont Street. And we don't know what the movie is, but this is the 41st year. And this event has raised millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Call it over $500 million for the Joey Fund and Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And Kate O'Donnell, her brother was Joey, who the Joey Fund is named after. And if you have some time, please log into thejoeyfund.org and check out all the wonderful events that they have throughout the years in conjunction with the cystic fibrosis chapter out in Natick, I believe. PM Spitzer and her team do a great job out there, and the film premiere is just a wonderful event, and I'll be in attendance. With some dear friends, and it's really going to be a great evening. So we'll hear more next week from Kate O'Donnell, but definitely go in and check that out, and also check out the Paul Ponders podcast, episode number 28. And Greg Brasso, the Veterans Voice, he has a show here on Thursday nights. I believe it's 7 o'clock. Is that correct, Tim?
Yes, 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Absolutely. He does a great job with his colleagues, and I believe there's a food pantry coming up on Thursday, second Thursday of the month.
Food drive-through, yes.
Food drive-through, okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank
You're
you on
welcome.
that. I believe that I went to the one in January. It was my second month here, and it was really quite well done, quite
Yes,
organized.
the Goon Squad does a nice job.
The Goon Squad,
Yes.
okay, it's what they call themselves. Alrighty, I love it. Well, they do a great job. And this segment, this spot we usually have for Sharon Filio, who has a new segment, which is the Health and Wellness Survival Tips, and we are looking for a sponsor for this segment and all. But Sharon has been doing an awesome job in collecting all sorts of great ideas, and she's very well received with her segment. So she'll be back either next week or the week after and all, but she's busy doing her other gig as a professional singer, so I hope she's doing well with that. But some of the emails that I have in fact received have been it's inquiring, pondering, like what are some of the episodes you have in fact talked about, you've gone in, and one person in particular, I won't mention names, referred to my very first episode, which was the contract of parently love. And this is something that I had developed back in 2001. Very dear friend, single mom, and her two boys were going through some mother-son issues and all that stuff. And when people sign a contract, when you buy a car, you purchase a home, you sign a contract, and there's an agreement between two parties. And those parties put their names on the contract and hopefully live up to that contract. Well, being a parent, and it's one of those things that, a parent has expectations, but also a child has expectations as well. So I used whatever creative writing skills I had at the time, and I've tweaked it throughout the years. I've had a couple of edits as time has gone on, but this is the contract of parently love. So I just want to read it, and it's available. You just have to email me at paul@paulponders.com. But I'm going to muddle through this, but it starts with a preamble. And the contract of parently love listed below is a contract that will only work if both parties are willing to take it seriously. Then I have in bold, human nature being what it is, no person is perfect. Both parties are to act in a responsible and respectful manner. Herein lies the essence of a true parent-son, parent-daughter relationship. Then I have the section where someone signs off as I, hereafter referred to as the parent, hereby swear that I will continue my loving, nurturing, and caring ways as the parent of one, fill in the blank, hereafter referred to as son, daughter, please circle. Section 2, I hereby swear that I will continue my loving, caring, and devoted ways as the son and daughter of, fill in the blank. So I, Section 3, the parent, hereby expect and demand the following attributes and conditions of what a parent truly deserves from a son and daughter. And then I have them all listed. Responsible for own actions and prepared to suffer the consequences. Acceptance of others. Patience, kindness, support. Respect, proper tone when speaking. No vulgarity in home and consideration of others in the household. Honesty at all times. Open lines of communication. And trust in one another. Listen when others are speaking. Help each other when help is needed, and share in family time. Willingness to work together as a family unit. Willingness to participate in household chores and projects and not expect things. Willingness to make the time for family dinner, church, and family gatherings. Respect for family rules, curfew, and no tolerance of alcohol and drug use. No violence, threats against anyone in the household. Must take responsibility to discuss troubling issues at home and lead by example. Must attend school and do assigned homework projects. Must accept the consequences and be prepared to accept the setting of limits. Now in Section 4, we have I, as the son and daughter, hereby expect and demand the following attributes of what a son-daughter truly deserves from a parent. A loving, caring, and nurturing environment and household that will provide me with the basis of what it takes to mature as a young adult into adulthood. Any loving, caring, and nurturing ways are only my best interests and will help me in the future. I believe that I deserve this type of environment to survive and thrive. And then Section 5, I, son and daughter, hereby swear that I will try my absolute best to meet the attributes and conditions set forth in Section 3 by my parent. I understand that this deviation or non-compliance of any said environment and household will result in the termination of said contract. Then we have Sections 6, 7, and 8, and it basically hones in on what the consequences are if you're not following these conditions as set forth. And again, this is a legal contract between a parent and a son and daughter. But in Section 6, I, the parent, hereby swear that any deviation or noncompliance of the rules set forth will result in termination of said contract and likely expulsion from said environment and household immediately. Section 7, I, the parent, hereby swear that the rules set forth are love, honor, respect, safety, and devotion from a true son or daughter. Section 8, I, the parent, will reluctantly petition the Child Custody Division of the Family Court to transfer the physical and parental custody of said son and daughter to fill in the blank upon review of all facts leading up to the event. In Section 9, any termination of said contract will set the ground rules for living in environment and household without the parent. Section 10, this contract is signed under the pains and penalties of perjury on whatever date by the undersigned. So I read this, and, this goes back to 2001. So that's 24 short years ago. Okay, so this has been out there, and I will say that I have sent this to about 15 people. I have kept track, and it hasn't worked for some people. Okay, they just, the families just continue to have issues. But it has worked for 7 families, and this is something that they took seriously enough to really look at these ground rules, if you will. And it really, really worked out well. Well, with this first case back in 2001, 24 short years ago, I'm very proud to say, and the person who signed this, the oldest son of my dear friend, he's in his late 30s now. He has 4 kids, happily married, living in the western part of the United States. He has started a family, a business, and he is thriving. And when we speak, he thinks back to when he signed his first official contract, and it set him on the course. So what I offer the listeners in Paul Ponder's land, in the WATD world, is the opportunity to send this to you. And if you're interested, if you just want to see it, feel it, touch it, and just look at it, it's a good basis point. And that really triggered the start of the Paul Ponder's world. And, through the course of many, many years, touching many lives in many different capacities in the nonprofit world, I came up with all sorts of writings and all sorts of inspirational things. And it's one of those things that it evolved into the world of using my network of people who I have encountered through the years. And it's one of those things that it's worked out really well. So I do invite you to really just tune in to the Paul Ponder's podcast and just go over whatever you may want to discuss. I don't know if we have a call on the line. We'll wait, but I'll just keep on talking as we start to wind down the show. But it's something that I think it's really important, really, to look at the basis of what it's all about. And it's about the family. It's about the foundation. It's about the community. And your community at home is, in fact, the most important thing. And sometimes, that you have to just step outside your comfort zone. You have to be outside that river in Egypt called denial. And you really have to just do some things when you're in pain. you're not liking life, and you have to maintain that positive mental attitude. That's really what it's all about. And as that saying goes, what's it all about, Alfie? Maybe we'll have Tim start singing that song for karaoke.
What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the moment we live? Anyway.
I love it.
Dion does it much better.
Yes, indeed. And I also like the Jack Jones version, too.
Okay.
Yeah, he did a nice job. Well, with that, I hear music. We won't be singing the Alfie song as we go into the music of Ron Dwyer, who is the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. Maybe Ron will have this queued up. Maybe I'll be able to listen to it when I'm on my way back to the Malden Medford area. But as we know, Ron is the true leader of the pack with great musical memories of yesteryear. So thank you, Ron, for being there. Listeners can go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders and WATD shows. Thanks again to Tim, Arthur, Shelley, and David, and our advertisers. But really, thank you, listeners in WATD world and beyond. Keep Paul pondering. #Indeed.